Okay, shalom, everybody. Welcome back. Visit Hashem after a long time. We finally get back to continue this amazing lesson 24. And the break was needed, at least for me, because these coming sections are the deepest part of the lesson and the deepest parts of the Kabbalah, and the deepest parts of the Zohar, the deepest parts of everything. But the whole message here is how far reaching is simcha and doing mitzvot b'simcha, and where it leads to a person. Basically, he's saying here that doing a mitzvah with simcha connects a person with the highest level called keter. And you need that in life. You need the keter in life because the keter is what shines light and clarity in every area of life. Whenever you have clarity, whenever you have an opening, a relief, it's all coming from the keter. Because like we said at the beginning of the class many years ago when we began this class, all light is gematria ein sof, 207. Meaning anytime you have light in life, if it's a breakthrough, a shalom bayit breakthrough, a health issue, a birth issue, okay, and spiritual breakthroughs, everything is coming from the infinite light. Okay, so you need it. You need interaction with the infinite light in your life every day. And our davening is that Hashem open up this light for us. But like Rabbi Nachman teaches here, the key to have this happen in your life is you have to work on being besimcha and doing mitzvot besimcha. It's not like people think, oh, be happy, and it's like a patch. It's like you're putting on a patch and okay. He's saying simcha is the solution. It's the opening b'ezrat Hashem to get things moving in life. We spent the last several classes on lesson 24 on paragraph 7, and now we're going to be starting soon, very 8. And these paragraphs go into the concept of the keter. Okay? We finished the first section, 7, where he talks about the concept of waiting. Waiting, settling the mind, organizing the mind. All this as part of the keter. Okay? Now we're going to read, we're going to go over, we're going to learn Reb Noson's prayer on this piece. Because in the prayer, when you dive in for something, you have to be as clear as possible. Like we said once, like the Zohar says about Yaakov crying out to Hashem about Esav. And right? And it says in Parshat Vayishlach, Hatzileni na miyad achi miyad Esav. Yaakov says to Hashem, Hashem, save me please from my brother, from Esav. The Zohar asks, what Hashem doesn't know? Hashem doesn't know what's Atzileni na. It's just say Hashem save me. Why does he have to add for my brother? He adds my brother, but Hashem knows who your brother is. Why does he have to add Esav? Right? Na, miyad achi, miyad Esav. So the Zohar says from here you learn that when you dive in, you have to be clear. You can't just assume Hashem knows what I'm talking about. There are times when you dive in and you're weak and you're drained and you're just wasted. And all you can do is say, Hashem, help me. All you can do is open your mouth and say, help me. That's already a miracle. But ideally, if you have the koach and the energy, you don't be lazy. You say clearly, explicitly what you're going through. And you mention it. It's like once Reb Noson was missing a button on his jacket and he felt it to be too insignificant to daven about it. And Rabbi Nachman rebuked him. He says, what? It's beneath your dignity to daven for a button? Come on. In other words, you have to talk to Hashem about everything and don't feel embarrassed. And if you feel embarrassed, good. So it'll push you to start davening and feeling the pain of more serious inyanim issues in life, more spiritual, and it won't bother you anymore the physical lacks and necessities. You'll be more bothered with the spiritual lacks and necessities, that you're not getting up on time, that you're not davening with kavanah. That's going to start bothering you, as opposed to, oh, I don't have money to cover the rent, oh, I don't have money to cover the bills, all this and that. You're going to go up a level by feeling embarrassed. In the meantime, though, if it's bothering you, you have to talk about it. You have to open your heart until it doesn't bother you anymore, right? So Reb Noson in the Likutey Tefilot, he goes open and he opens up, and every word is measured. There's a tradition, I heard this from Rav Michael Dorfman, how Reb Noson wrote the Likutey Tefilot is that he had a paper and a quill and ink, and he just looked up to Hashem and he said, Ribono Shel Olam, and he dipped the quill in the ink, and it started writing by itself. His hand started just writing. The words came by themselves. That's why he said once Reb Noson that these prayers come from the 50th gate. He said they're above Ruach HaKodesh. They're from the 50th level, which is it's called the Keter, the level of the Keter, in fact. Because these prayers are Mamash Ruach HaKodesh. You don't have to find yourself in the prayers. As soon as you start reading them, this is me. This is exactly what I'm going through right now in life. That's the power of these prayers. So now, with all that said, let's take a look at these few lines. It's not so much, but it's power-packed. How Reb Noson summarizes what we spoke about this whole year, this whole summer, this whole winter, this whole half a year, what we were going through all the classes. Now he lays it down in prayer format, and you can see clearly the ideas. Okay, so we're holding in this section that begins Uvchen. Uvchen terachem aleinu. He says like this, Reb Noson. Uvchen terachem aleinu berachamim rabim, berachamim gdolim. And thus Hashem, terachem aleinu, have compassion, have rachmanut, compassion upon us, berachamim rabim, with abundant compassion, berachamim gdolim, with great compassion. There's berachamim gdolim is a high term. It's like abundant compassion, big time, big, so that's strong enough to give me a major breakthrough in life. Utzakeni, and what is the compassion that I need? And it really is, if you think about it, this is such a true level of compassion. This is something really a person really needs in life. So it requires a lot of compassion to come to it. What is it called? Utzakeni leyashev ulesader da'ati hetev. This is so needed in life. It's so needed in life to have a settled and organized mind. Because the majority of people, forget about people running after just this world. For sure they have no yishuv adat. For sure people are running after money and fun and excitement and dinyonot and crazy things. For sure they have no yishuv adat. Because a person has a settled mind, yishuv adat means settled mind, they would realize that the only true purpose in this world is to connect to Hashem. This world in itself is total vanity. It's empty. It's empty, this world in itself. It's because I connect this world to Hashem, to mitzvot, that gives a value. If I'm going shopping for food, so I'm saying, Nechot Shabbat Chodesh, I'm buying food for Shabbat, for Yom Tov Rosh Chodesh, okay? I'm buying clothing for Shabbat, for weddings, for simchas, okay? Brachot, we're doing stuff, we're doing good stuff with this world. That's what a mitzvah is, okay? But in itself, and that's the majority of the people in the world, that they live just to work and to make money and to survive and live off that. Those who have more money, they run after to be rich and famous. All that is total emptiness. And the reason why they don't see it is because they don't have yeshiva dat. Also, when you have a child who's off the derech or doing narshkeit, like the teenagers, it's called in Yiddish na'ar shkeit because it comes from the word na'ar. He's mamash na'arut maseh. Na'arut means the person is not settled. His mind is just acting up. He's so ecstatic, so much noise, like static, and the person doesn't have a calm mind to think clearly. That's why the mind of immature people, they're so influenced by the static, by so much happening in the world. They don't have a settled mind. They're influenced by what's going on around them. They can't work to build up a settled mind to think clearly. So because that, yes, it's not an embarrassment. We say the majority of the world are cuckoo. The majority of people in the world are mamash nuts because they don't have yeshiva dat. What do you want? He looks normal. Oh, hello, good morning, and he goes to work and he eats and drinks and everything. Yes, sir, can I help you? But the person's head is not settled. So he's living a limbo, imaginary existence. He's in a bubble. He's not connected to reality because he doesn't have yeshiva dat. As opposed to someone who takes the time every day, even a firm person, he's on the rush, okay, running by Daf Yomi Shir and davening and work and the family and this and that, and he's running, has to run to go to Mincha, run to the Marv, everything is running, and the person doesn't have time, even once in his lifetime, chas v'shalom, to settle his mind. Like Rabbi Nachman once said, most people, they only have a settled mind when their feet are facing the door. In other words, when they've died already, and they're about to lead the body out to the Levaya, only then the person has a settled mind, but it's too late at that point. He missed it, okay? So it is a big bracha, it is a big gift, it is a big compassion needed to have a settled mind. They say like this, if you have a settled mind, you have everything. That's the key for everything is yeshiva dat. Yeshiva dat gives you clarity, okay? On the one hand, there's part of your day that you have to be zariz, you have to be quick. Halacha says, you wake up in the morning, yalla, there's no time to waste. Get up, go to the mikveh, go to shul, daven. Don't now start smoking and schmoozing and what's the news. Like people, they go to the mikveh, they start schmoozing in the mikveh, right? They start doing funny things. There's no time for that. There's times in the day where there's zrizut, but the goal of the zrizut is to get to the yeshiva dat b'ezrat Hashem. All right. So that's what he says here. ברחמים גדולים ותזכני ליישב ולסדר את דעתי היטב. Let me merit to settle and organize my mind היטב, very, very well, very carefully. Now also the point is, and we mentioned this many times already, that the order is going to be switched. Sometimes he says first leyashev, to settle, and then lesader, and then organize. And even Rabbi Nachman in the lesson does this, and then he switches it around to organize and to settle. We're going to try to go into this why this change of order. If everything in this lesson and these prayers are so precise, so there's also precision. It can't be just like a typo and an error that they do first yishuv and then seder. There has to be a reason why also seder and then yishuv. There's a reason why. Let's try to go into this b'ezrat Hashem. But at this point we're holding utzakeni leyashev ulesader dati etev. Let me merit to have a settled and organized mind, ketev, very carefully. V'tashpia alai kedusha v'tahora v'shefa elyona miketer elyon. This is the key. When you have this settled mind, so it is the opening, it's coming from the keter first of all. The settling the mind, like you said, the settling organizing the mind comes from the keter, but also it leads to the next stage within the keter, the benefits of the keter. In other words, there's the requirement of the keter, which is having a settled mind. The keter forces you, if you, like he said in the lesson, or he's going to say coming up also, build properly up with simcha and mitzvot to reach the keter, and the keter stops you and helps you to, enables you, allows you to settle and organize the mind. So then with this requirement comes the follow-up, which is shefa. That's what he's saying now. Through now having a settled and organized mind, tashpia alai, let me have abundance of bounty come down upon me of kedusha, holiness, of tahara, of purity, and of shefa elyona, from upper, in other words, not physical low-life, base, physical materialistic bounty, but rather bounty which is connected to high levels of spirituality, all coming from keter elyon. This term, Reb Noson throws in this term. He doesn't just call the keter, he calls it keter elyon, the upper keter. Why does he say that? Keter number one is above all the sefirot, so it's called elyon, above all the other ones. But more than this, every level you reach, there's what's called a level of keter. There's many levels of keter from where you're holding in life. You can have an initial age, a level of keter. You pass it, you grow, you work on growing more. There's another level of keter, and there's many levels. The goal is to reach the upper keter. This is for like the great tzaddikim. The greatest tzaddikim reach these levels of the upper keter. So now how about us? How about little me? By you being attached to, believing in such tzaddikim of such caliber, it shines upon you also the ability to connect to the keter elyon and get major benefits even though it's above your true level. The fact that you are attached to and believe and submit yourself to such tzaddikim on that level, you gain also from their benefits. Unbelievable. That's the green card. That's the way to get through in Judaism, is attach yourself to a tzaddik, and then you reap major benefits which if you were all alone, not even in a million years would you get there. But you have like a green card to bypass many, many levels due to something very simple. What? Simple faith and following tzaddikim, which is a major prerequisite in Judaism. The person needs emunat chachamim, emunat tzaddikim, who reach these high levels, then it brushes off upon you, and you can reach things which you so badly need in your life, and they come to you as a gift from above your level because of simple, straightforward, and honest emunat tzaddikim. Unbelievable. Okay? So all this another point is the benefit of having a settled mind is that's when things come to you. To explain, when you're on the run, when you're running to do good, to do mitzvot, okay? So you have no time to absorb the benefits. Because when you're running, you're trying to build yourself up. The stop, the keter, says, okay, you reached a level, a plateau, now you must stop in life. There's a halt. Breaks. The breaks are meant to settle your mind. The settling of the mind, the organizing of the mind, puts the pieces of the puzzle in the right place. And when the pieces of the puzzle are in the right place, you can unlock the lock that's bolted in front of you. And the door opened leads all these benefits kedusha, tahara, shefa Yonah, all these things which you do want, okay, they only come your way when you stop. It's an amazing thing in life. People where they're trying to do something, like, you're trying to open a door. Oh, the door's locked, and you're like, what am I doing? You're getting nervous to try to open the door. Someone says, wait, take it easy. Take a breath, 1 second. And the person that takes a breath, he says, okay, now try. And now calmly tries to open it, and he opens it. When he was nervous, no, it's like the lock is, I'm trying to open it. Hey, buddy, take it easy. Stop. Take 5 minutes. Okay. No, you're not calm yet. Be calm. Okay. No, not yet. Until he's really calm, say, okay, now try. And then he tries, and he opened it. Oh, it was so simple. He said, yes. Why? Because when you're on the run, you can't get the things. Why? Because you're busy running. When you're running, you're busy running. You can't think clearly. To think of a solution needs a person to stop. That's why they suggest to people, when a person is hit with like some shocking news, sit down, take a break, take time to absorb it. Don't give an immediate, the impulsive response. Stop, take it easy, and then by having yishuv hadat, being settled, you compose your mind, and then you're able to think and do and decide clearly. Here also, for shefa, kedusha, tahara to come your way, you gotta stop. You gotta take a break. Because you're too in momentum. Again, this time of life, this time of the day, time of the year, time of the month, time of the week, that you have to run. Okay, it's understood. But now when you're ready to reap the profits, you're ready now to reap the benefits, for that you have to stop. It's like a person, he's in school all year, and he's doing tests, and he's studying, and at the end of the year he gets his award, he passed. So they make a ceremony where everybody stops, everybody's frozen, and then they give out the awards. You're not studying right now, and now you're dressed up, you're sitting in an auditorium, you're sitting, waiting, and they're playing the music, la 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 la, I don't know, what American anthem, whatever, and then they give the awards. That's how it is also Judaism. For Hashem to give you the benefits of what you're toiling for, you need to take a break, but the person doesn't know how to take a break. So Hashem has to initiate, the keter has to initiate the break coming to the person, okay? So that's what he says here. By having having a settling and structure and organizing the mind clearly, then it leads to the next stage of getting the benefits of life. Okay? And why? Why do I need the bounty of holiness, purity, shefa, upper holy bounty from the Keter Elyon? Why? Why do I need all this? Is this for a personal gain? No, it's for something higher. Reb Noson is really explaining something deep. He started off, Hashem, have compassion upon me, draw upon me that I should be zoche to settle and organize my mind, so that I can come to the benefits, and the benefits are to lead to what? He just said the exact same thing as I said at the beginning. So I should merit through this to draw upon myself. Look at this wording. The strength, he threw in a new word, the koach, and he flipped the order. He said initially, let me to settle and organize my mind. And now he says, I should come through that to the shefa, the bounty, holiness, purity, shefa, and why all this? So that I should be zoche now through this to drop on myself the strength of misader first, organizing, and meyashev, and settling of the mochin b'kedusha. What in the world is going on? So this is my theory. I'm trying to work on this. Is that there's what you have from your side. When it's coming from your side is first yishuv and then seder. First we tell a person stop, sit down, and then okay, now organize. But when coming from above, it's first the organization coming down, and then that leads to settling. In me though, it's the opposite direction. From heaven, they first send down seder, and then yishuv. Because in order for you to have yishuv hadat, you have to have proper order in life. So they send you first order, organization, composition, composing, and then they settle this. That leads to the ability to settle the mind. What help is it to have a mind settled if it's already settled in the right place? So in heaven, when coming down, they send you first the koach, the strength of organization, composure, and then structure, and then to be settled, settlement of the mind. And me, though, when I work on from what I have to do, when I try to activate the keter from my side, first is stop. You already have accumulated anyways. Stop first, and then compose yourself, and then structure and organize. You gotta stop. On our side, you have to stop first, and then organize. From time though, when they send down something to you, they first have to send you down the information that has to come down. So the organized information, the strength, it's called the koach, comes down to you. And then once that's established, then you can settle your mind and it won't go to the wrong place. Okay? As opposed to when I'm working to build myself up by being b'simcha, doing mitzvot b'simcha, I'm already on the right track. I'm already doing the right things. I'm already doing mitzvot. I'm doing good things. Okay, so all that's needed now is to stop, settle, and settle, and then organize what the good that I'm already having. Right now, when I want to reach a higher level, and I have no idea what's beyond me, so Hashem sends first the koach of the nesader, and then the May Hashem, the opposite direction, because first He has to send you the actual information, the actual mitzvah, the actual connection of mitzvah, the activity, to know what to do, and then once that's established, then you can reach Yeshiva Dad, which will lead you to settle it afterwards. But from Shamayim, it comes down in the opposite direction. Okay? So this is an amazing benefit. This, it turns out, everybody in life needs this. Because like Reb Noson writes in many places, the major errors that people make in life is because they were not miyashiv. A person made a fatal error, the wrong doctor, the wrong this, the wrong that. And on one hand you say, I'll call min hashamayim. It's true, I'll call min hashamayim. Okay, in the end, gam zelu tova, whatever Hashem wants, it's for the benefit. But when Hashem is testing you, He's testing you. And when you're being tested, what is the test? Are you going to, through the pressure you're going through, make an not balanced, not settled the decision in life, and then regret it afterwards? And then afterwards you say, okay, it was kapara, gam zelu tova, whatever. Or are you going to settle yourself first and then make a decision? That's why this thing of Yeshiva Dat is so important. The majority of people's mistakes in life and errors, and afterwards they pay the price for them, is because they acted out of a lack of Yeshiva Dat. And the lack of Yeshiva Dat comes about because of a lack of Simcha. Period. So from here you see, someone who works on being b'simcha, always b'zat Hashem, he has more chances of making good decisions in life. That's why Rabbi Nachman writes also in his Aleph Bet book, by a person being happy, through this he's matzliach. It says in the Midrash, remember, about Yosef HaTzadik when he was in Egypt, Haya ish matzliach, right? And the Midrash says he was a successful man. Why? Because he was always happy and dancing and singing. Yosef HaTzadik, he was happy. It says, mefazez mechaker, he was happy in Egypt, even though he was a slave and a servant, but he was happy in his Yiddishkeit, in his beard, in his peyot, in his brit milah, in his connection to God. Even though he's stuck in such a tumah like Egypt, he was happy on his connection to God even there. And that because he was happy, he was matzliach. Everybody, he found chen, he found charm, grace in everybody's eyes. Everybody liked Yosef HaTzadik. Why? Because he was happy. His happiness made him matzliach. And people got along with him, and things worked out with Yosef HaTzadik. Okay, it's a big thing. The connection of Simcha and Yeshiva Dat is so important. It's so amazing, and this is the highlight of this lesson. The goal of your Simcha is to bring you to a settled mind, because once you have the settled mind, you will get out of what you're stuck in. So what's the address here? work on building up the simcha so that you properly connect to the keter, and by activating the keter properly, you now draw down shefa, and the shefa allows you to activate the koach of the mesader meyashev. It's like here, the yishuv is the goal of the mesader. You though, your initial stage from simcha is from the simcha that I built up to start with yishuv, that leads me to a mesader. And this mesader leads me to the shefa coming down, and this shefa coming down leads me now to the koach of a higher mesader, which leads to a higher yishuv. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is so needed in life. People are not calm. People are not, okay. Thanks to the internet, also smartphone, people are even less yishuv adat. People are always rushing to get results. I press a button. I had a guy once, I reached out to him to help for the mitzvah Achnasat Kala, and I sent like an email with a few links. So he called me back, he says, listen, you gotta make it easy for people, okay? He was like talking fast. You gotta make it easy for people, make a link, you should have any option they need. A link and like a button, you press on it and right goes to it. Don't give me now 1, 2, 3 and I have to work hard to get to it. Like I was saying to myself, okay, but the way you're talking shows that you're not calm. Why do you need now a super duper fast link? Because you don't have Yeshiva Adat. People have Yeshiva Adat, whatever comes their way, they take it. They're happy with it, they're cool, they jive, they go with the flow. Okay, but when a person now is always on a rush, you have to know when to be on a rush. There's times that, like I said, being zariz is a virtue. But when? When to be zariz, when to be fast. The halakha says clearly, Yitgaber ka'ari, getting up in the morning is the most important time to be fast. Okay? When talking with people, you have to know how to deal with them. Rav Levi Yitzchak Bender, a Breslov elder, he was known for that. He was known that, when midnight would come, his alarm clock would ring and he would throw off his blanket. People in the other room would see, he had a window on top of the door, so they would see his blanket fly off. Whoop! And the man was super duper fast. He got up, went to the mikveh, daven, chatzot, whatever, okay? And then with the same person, when he came to talk to people, he was so calm. He was so calm and easygoing, okay? Fine. So this shows you that you need both. And as you need Zrizut and Yeshiva Adat. Yeshiva Adat comes through Simcha. How to come to Simcha? We spoke about this many times. Reb Noson goes through this a lot in the Likutey Tefilot, that to be Simcha, you have to sometimes act silly, tell jokes, put on music, dance, movement, find the good point. Thank Hashem and look at the ultimate future, that in the end things are going to work out. So if that's the case, you have no reason to be upset and broken and worried. Oh, it's finished, it's over. If in the end there's going to be resurrection of the dead, the evil will be punished, the good will be rewarded. So what are you worrying about? What do you open this and that and that? Look, you're 120 years within 6,000 years. You're just a little piece. Look at the final end and you'll see that it's good. So what are you crying about? Okay? That's how we said how to be b'simcha. Okay? So he goes on. Ve'ezke tamid le'yishuv hadat heitev be'emet uve'emunah shlema b'kedushav ta'ara k'yotzoncha hatov. So Reb Noson adds like this. I should be zoche always to yishuv hadat, to a settled mind, a settled brain, heitev, properly done, very good. In other words, it fits in perfectly with my head. The settled mind. And he says, now he adds this point, and it should be a settled mind for the emet, for the in truth, and then emunah shlema. Because what happens when because you can have even goyim and Gentiles, and Hindu and Buddha and Huji Buji, that they also believe in meditation and making your head calm, but it leads them to something else. It leads them to idolatry, because the basis of their meditation wasn't found on something pure. It was founded on something, an admixture that leads them to a meditation, a certain idea, and it's off tangent. However, someone who's sincere in looking for God, looking for the truth, without any ulterior motives starting off the search, but he's pushing everything just to be sincere and honest, so he'll come to the truth, which is the truth of Hashem, and faith, to believe in Hashem. Okay, so that's why he's saying here, Ve'ezkeh tamid, I should be zoche always to yishvadat heitev, to good yishvadat, be'emet u'emunah shlema, in truth. It should be a calm-headedness that brings me to truth, u'be'emunah shlema, and to have complete faith through the yishvadat. And then he goes on again, b'kedusha uv'tahara, because we need that the mind be clear, clean-headed. So with holiness and purity, according to your will, Hashem, like you want. You want us to have a clean head. Reb Noson, in his letters, he writes so much to his son about the battles of the mind, that a person is always being attacked in his head with bad thoughts, bad thoughts, bad thoughts. That's the main battle we have is in our heads, believe it or not. The main battle is not with people, Hamas and this and that. The main battle we have with the Yetzer Hara is inside of our heads. And the only way to fight back is by making the head clean. The way to make the head clean is to have Yishuvadat. And the way to have Yishuvadat properly is through Simcha. So A, B, C, it's like a domino effect. We know the direction needed to take in order to get to it, okay? Malei Rachamim, Reb Noson continues, full of compassion, Hashem, God full of compassion. Kuma be'ezrati, please Hashem, rise to my assistance, to my aid. V'hoshi'eni shelo tirdov machshavti chas v'shalom achar ta'avot v'hirurim machshavot zarot v'chokhmot chitzoniyot. So Noson now, he's going to the next stage. Once you've established a settled mind, you have to protect the mind that the foreign ideologies, impure thoughts shouldn't take advantage and enter your empty head. Once you've settled the mind, and it's settled, and there's clarity, you see Hashem, Emet, and Emunah, the Yetzer Hara will try to take advantage now of this calm mode to go in and implant sound, noise, bad noise, impure, unholy noise. So Reb Noson says, even if I have a clear head, I got to protect it. So I have to ask also, Malei Rachamim, full of compassion, Hashem, rise to my assistance, to my aid, save me. That what? That now that my mind is settled, Shelo tirdov machshavti chas v'shalom, that my mind should not run. You see, this is there's so much insight on this point. On one hand, you have to run to reach the keter. The mitzvot get you to run. So when you make sure you're running, you have to be careful of too much light, which will lead you to run to the wrong address, to the wrong direction. That I'm running for the right thing. Number two, once having Yishuvadat, also, that now that my mind is settled, I shouldn't use it as a springboard now, as like a basis to start to run, God forbid, for the wrong things. Shelo tirdov machshavti chas v'shalom achar ta'avot. My mind shouldn't run, God forbid, after lusts. I shouldn't fill in my head, because normally when you have a breakthrough in life, so that that's when people crash. When they reach a pinnacle, when a person has reached a high level, so then most people, they can't handle the intensity of the light of that situation, and the Yetzer Hara takes advantage of giving them too much light, and they crash. Yishuvadat is a major breakthrough, it's a major accomplishment. So the Yetzer Hara will take advantage of this Yishuvadat. You've reached a level now, now you can take a break. And now you have energy, and God forbid use the energy for the wrong direction. It happens to so many people. Many people can attest that they crash after having such amazing breakthroughs. They have a crash. And people are worried that after the breakthrough, okay, what's waiting for me now? It's sad, it's scary, but it's a fact of life that after a person has a major up in life, it's followed by a down. It's like a wheel. Right? The Chazal teach life is a galgala chozer. Life is a revolving wheel. So by the wheel, When you turn the wheel, you're on the top. You have a point on the edge of the wheel. It's on the bottom. The wheel turns, so then the bottom goes on the top now. Okay? But then the wheel continues to turn, and what's on the top of the wheel now goes to the bottom. That's how it is. You reach a breakthrough, so it's normal that it's followed by a crash. They say the classic example is right after Rosh Hashanah. What do you have right after Rosh Hashanah? Tzom Gedalia. What in the world? I'm on the high, 2 days of shofar, of kedusha, especially if you're zochet to be Uman Rosh Hashanah, and you feel the unbelievable davening and the blast and the kedusha and everything. Right after, boom, a mourning day. What type of mourning day? A death of a tzaddik. What in the world? From one extreme, the Jews who killed Gedaliah. They also did Rosh Hashanah. They weren't wicked Jews. They were Jews who were misled by false leadership. They had also Rosh Hashanah, and right after Rosh Hashanah, they have the audacity to fall so low to kill a prophet of Hashem, to kill Gedaliah. Ridiculous. What in the world? Because that's how it is in life. You have a high, expect a crash afterwards. Expect a down. It's part of life. The wheel turns. You're on the top, it goes down. The question is, do you allow the wheel to continue turning? Or if you crash, you stop it. No, I don't want anymore. I've fallen, it's finished. And you stop the wheel from moving. If you keep on going, the wheel turns around and you go up again. You go down again, but you go up and down. You would think so, it's purposeless, it's useless. If I keep on going up and down, and it's just a revolving wheel, what do I benefit? The answer is you always benefit. Every time the wheel goes up, the wheel gets bigger. It gets higher. The radius of the rubber of the tire, just by going up, you advance it. You upgrade. Every time you turn the wheel from down to up, you upgrade to a bigger tire, a bigger wheel. Okay? So your wheels are getting bigger. So your ups are higher, and your lows are lower, it's true, but you continue. You don't crash because of them. You're able to continue and keep on going and waiting for Hashem to make a breakthrough. As long as it takes, I'm waiting, because I see breakthroughs in other areas of life that show me that Hashem loves me, and that there's hope, okay? So going back, Reb Noson is saying, I shouldn't now take the advantage of having Yeshiva Dat, and God forbid to now allow my mind to run for evil things. So please, I need a lot of compassion for that. Malei Rachamim, come Hashem, stand up for me to help me and save me, because this is really scary. It's dangerous, and if only this wouldn't happen at all. And what is it? That my mind should not run after Chas Shalom over evil lusts, whatever it is, God forbid, watching the wrong things, hiurim, lustful thoughts, umachshavot zarot, and foreign thoughts, vechochmot chitzoniot, and foreign philosophies, atheistic ideologies. Get it out of me. I don't want any of this. Just because now I had a breakthrough doesn't mean the Yitzhar has the permission now to make me think like a goy and think like an atheist. I don't want that. As an opening, it's for Hashem. And as a down, so Hashem let my down that it shouldn't be in these areas. It shouldn't be that I have to fall into ta'avot, the lustful desires, into lustful thoughts, into foreign thoughts and atheistic chokhmot and knowledge and wisdoms. Let me get out of all that. It goes on, Reb Noson. Rak ezke le'echoz et chokhmati uvinati v'da'ati livli le'aniach et hamoach lachshov klal shum machshava chitzona klal. Unbelievable, Reb Noson. Rather, Hashem, let me merit, because really it's a big zchut. You need help from above for this to happen. It doesn't happen by itself. You can't say, I'm Superman now, I built myself up. It's like someone told me once, a guy who's more secular, and he works with religious Jews who, because of their stature and religion, they can't have a smartphone. They know their weakness. If they have a smartphone, they're going to go straight to watching movies and doing stuff like that. So he said, what's wrong? Control yourself. What's wrong, man? Have a phone and control yourself. The answer is, it's not so simple. Why? Because the firmer you are, kol hagadol mechavero, yitzro gadol mimenu. Someone who's greater has a big yitzhara. It's like, secular Jews. Oh, this rabbi, he was caught stealing, he was caught cheating on his wife and this and that. And they say, so he's no longer a rabbi. When a secular person does it, it's okay. A secular Jew or goy cheats on his wife or steals, it's okay. But when a rabbi does it, it's wrong. So I'm sorry to say this, but it's exact opposite. The more religious a person becomes, he has a greater yitzhara. You give your Yetzer Hara of a religious person of a nice beard and payas. You take his Yetzer Hara and give it to a person who's secular, he'll fry. He'll fry with it. He'll burn him. He can't contain it. Because the Jew reaches a level, let's say, plus 100. So his capacity, potential, is for Yetzer Hara at minus 100. As opposed to a Jew who's at plus 10, so his Yetzer Hara is at minus 10. It's a joke, his Yetzer Hara, compared to the religious guy. The religious guy, he has biceps. He's worked on his spiritual biceps. He has muscles. He's at plus 100, okay? So he can be tempted with a minus 100 test and not crash. He can withstand it, he can fight it, okay? He has to put more reservations, more blockings, he has to guard his eyes more where he goes, but he has the capacity and ability to do that. You take his Yetzer Hara, give it to Joe Schmo, who's at plus 10, you give him a minus 100 Yetzer Hara, he's going to fry, okay? It's the exact opposite of how people think. Oh, he's religious, so therefore he has no Yetzer Hara. Just the opposite. He's religious and he has a hard Yetzer Hara. He has the ability to deal with it. And when he crashes, you secular guys make such noise. Look at these religious Jews. He has the beard. He's a charlatan. He steals money. But he's a human being still. Like Rabbi Nachman once said about himself. He said about himself, you see how great I am? You guys hold me. He told his Hasidim, you guys hold me as being as a tzaddik, right? Right. So me, as great as I am, if I were to do the worst sin in the Torah, okay, I would still be a tzaddik afterwards. Just the difference is I would do tshuva, but I wouldn't lose my stature of being a tzaddik just because I fell. That's an amazing mussar here. Just because a person falls doesn't mean you have to, put an X on him now, he's no good. The secular people, they like that. They say religious person, he has to be perfect. He has to be perfect. It's just the opposite. He's more religious, he has more weaponry. It's like, for example, you take Arnold Schwarzenegger, okay, and he has now all the metal and the muscles and everything. You don't put in front of a pipsqueak little enemy, like a little, you give him a big warrior, a big soldier and everything, okay? So a rabbi, a so-called rabbi, whatever, someone who's more religious and God-fearing and everything, so he has weaponry. So he has to fight a bigger battle. So now in battle, there are pros and cons. There are times when you win, times you lose. What do you want? It's normal. It's not like you think, so he's a rabbi, he's forbidden to make mistakes. And when he makes a mistake, X. These people, they're stupid who think like that because they put an X on all the rabbis. In the end, so I have an excuse not to be religious anymore. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. Stupid hashkafa, reverse of the normal, okay? Just the opposite. You see religious Jews falling, okay? So that should wake you up. What's waiting for you? Now you're not going to wake up. You have to do the job. They're warriors. They're the front row. These are big people. You at least do your minimum. Do your minimum. You're not going to become a rabbi, okay, but do your minimum and realize you can't just sit down and do nothing. You're going to pay the price for it also. So just it's a crazy hashkafa. And Reb Noson is just stressing, I have an opening, but I need Hashem's help. It's not going to happen by itself. I can build my muscles, my spiritual muscles, my spiritual holiness and have strength. Oh, he's such a big rabbi, he's a big beard and everything, okay? You can do fine and dandy, bravo. If he doesn't daven, nothing. No chance. If there's no what's called siyata dishmaya, I think the Baal Shem Tov once said, the greatest Shah is called the Shah Siyat Shema, or Odel. They say in the name of Odel, the daughter of the Baal Shem Tov. They ask, what is the greatest Shah? He says, Shah Siyat Dishmaya, the gate of divine assistance. If there's no divine assistance in your life, you're finished. You're finished, right? Ilmale Hashem Ozro Haya Nofel Beyado. It's the Gemara. The Gemara says, Yitz Bechol Yom Vayom Yitzor Shel Adam Mitgaber Alav. Every day, the evil inclination he succeeds in overcoming a person, and were it not for Hashem helping him, Haya nofel beyado, the person would fall in the hands of the evil one. So what do you want? It's Hashem's input helping a person to make it. So that's what he's saying here now. Rak ezke, so rather I should merit Hashem. I have to daven about this. That what? I need help for Hashem to control my mind. It's true, it's my mind, it's my brain, it's my thoughts, it's true. But Hashem gives me the assistance to be strong-minded. So he's saying, Rak ezke, I should rather merit, not to let in lustful thoughts and ta'avot and hirurim, machshavot zarot, chokhmot chitzoniyot. He mentioned 4 categories. You noticed? He mentioned number 1, ta'avot, desires. Number 2, hirurim, bad thoughts, illicit thoughts. Okay? Tavot is actually indulging into actual lustful activity. Hirurim is lustful thoughts. Machshavot zarot, foreign thoughts that come to attack you. Foreign thoughts is like, things trying to distract you from simple service of Hashem. Like when you're trying to daven, and all these machshavot zarot, these foreign thoughts, you have to pay the bill today, you have to run this, that, are distracting you. And the fourth one is the worst. It's called chokhmot chitzoniot. You begin to doubt that Hashem is watching you. Oh, I'm finished, and this, and you start trying to think ways around how to solve a problem, and you forget about Hashem. That's chokhmot chitzoniot. So all this I need protection from. So he's saying here, Reb Noson, I rather Hashem, I should have the merit to hold, like holding the reins of a horse, to hold my chokhmah, my bina, and my dat, my knowledge, my understanding, and my wisdom, okay? All three levels, I should hold each of them, because Yetzirah attacks chokhmah by itself, attacks bina, attacks dat. There's times Yetzirah uses chokhmah, logic, to attack you. Bina is understanding. Wait a second, this happens, and this happened. What do you do about that? He uses bina, which is derivative knowledge, to attack you. And sometimes dat. You have a complete, okay. So your conclusion is A, B, C. Okay, great. So what are you going to do now about this? And they send you a new problem. So the Yetzirah attacks in many ways, in chokhmah format, in bina format, and in da'at format. So Hashem, let me hold properly my chokhmah, my bina, my da'at. Livli le'aniach et hamoach lachshov klal shu machshava chitzona klal. Not allowing my mind, allowing to let my mind to think at all, any foreign thought at all. Please Hashem, please protect my mind. I shouldn't think any foreign thought, that it shouldn't break my chokhmah, my bina, my da'at. And what should I merit to? V'yeh mochi, he says here, watch this, three or four things. My mind should be naki, v'zach, v'tzach, b'kedusha v'tahara tamid. My mind should be, number one, clean. Number two, zach, which means like pure. And tzach means clear. 3 levels. My mind should be clean. That's like corresponding to the chokhmah. Zach, bina should be clean, pure. Naki is clean. Zach, it should be pure. And the da'at should be tzach, clear. Again, naki is clean. Zach is we said, is pure. And tzach is clear. Okay? Naki, clean, pure, and clean. 3 levels that I need for the chokhmah and the bina and the da'at. My mind should have all 3 levels. B'kedusha v'tahara tamid. How much we have to daven about this? We all admit that our mind is exposed to such garbage coming in, and it influences it. It's terrible, right? We know this is our major deficiency. However, what you allow in, like the Gemara says, that the Yetzirah can only attack a person what he's seen. Whatever you've allowed in the past in your mind, the Yetzirah can use that to attack you. So that's the case. I have to put on blinkers from now on. It's not easy. I know it's not easy. That's why I have to daven about this. The more you daven about this, the more you have better chances of activating this in your life. Even someone who had a very bad past and he saw what he saw and he did what he did, if he is so consistent in just davening about it, so he has major chances of getting out, better than if he didn't do anything at all and just take like meditation classes and everything. You got to daven about this to happen. Okay, now we're going to finish off this last little line here. He says like this, Reb Noson. ותעזרני שאזכה לעלות תמיד ממעלה למעלה ומדרגה לדרגה על ידי עשיית מצוותיך הקדושים בשמחה. Reb Noson here reminds us what we have to get to. Help me, Hashem, that I should merit to go up always. It's not ma'ala, up and up. It's ma'ala, from one level to another level. Midarga, from one step to another step. Please, Hashem, help me to continue going forward in life. Through what? What's the basis? Because in other words, when you talk about mind things, you get carried away. When you go into the mind and controlling the mind purity, you feel lost. You feel overwhelmed. So what do I have to go back to in order to help me to come to this? So he goes back to the idea of simcha. So Reb Noson goes back to remind the person what they're really daven about. Because this is the key. The more you work on simcha, the more you have chances of having a clear head in life. Again, it's amazing. If you're a simchadik person, so there's less worry in your head, there's less static, there's less room that cracks for the Yitzhak to come in to start, okay, if you notice, at least it's by me, when you wake up in the morning, that's when the most negative thoughts attack you. This and that. You're starting off the day, it's like crazy. I want to daven now, and they're attacking non-stop. It's the beginning of the day. Why? And then you think negative. For sure, that person did this to me and anything and that. And then after you finish davening, the person himself calls you and shows you that it wasn't like you thought. And you say, I wasted my whole davening for nothing. It happens a lot. I don't know if you see this in life. You build up a whole theory of something that happened to you, and you're burning because of it. And because you're burning, you can't daven in the morning. You're davening, you think about what he did to you. And then the person himself calls you, or the bank calls you, or you get an email, and it was corrected. So you wasted all of your morning for nothing. Because in the end, it just worked out. And what did you lose? You lose the davening. It's unbelievable how the biggest test in the morning is a lack of simcha. It's crazy. It's so obvious that Yetzirah doing it. It's so obvious. People wake up, they're on the wrong side of bed. You see people going to work and going to davening, and they're all negative, and the negative news, whatever. Terrible. Yetzirah knows that he gets the person at the beginning of the day, he swallowed up his whole day. The main thing, like they say, is how you get out of bed on the right foot. You get out of bed on the right side, right? That is so true. How does it start off? With Modani. Thank you, Hashem. People even they gulp down Modani. It's terrible. I'm talking about myself also, okay? We gulp down Modani. Yeah. Thank Hashem. Come on. Thank Hashem. Be happy. It's crazy. You have what to complain about. You have also what to be happy about. And the day the Tzar really knows how to get people. So we really need to daven a lot about this. We need so much davening to be positive, okay? So he's saying, Reb Noson, the key is simcha. Please Hashem, help me that I should be zoche to go up always from level to level. It should never stop in my life. And from step to step, because sometimes it's level to level, like you enter a new, in a video game, you have stages and levels. There's a level in stage 1 of level 1, stage 2 of level 1. Super Mario Brothers. Remember, everyone remembers that. There's stages and levels. So that's ma'ala and that's darga. Ma'ala is like a stage, a level, and darga is like a stage, like a step. Okay? How can I get up from level to level? Is through doing mitzvot akadosh b'simcha. If you see you're so negative, especially in the morning, so you know how much you have to work on simcha. That's the area that you should be working on the most. It hits you big time. The beginning of the day, it hits you. Through doing the mitzvot, the holy mitzvot, the simcha. Always, Reb Noson throws the classic when he talks about this point to his son in the letters, or in the Likutey Halachot, or in the Likutey Tefilot. Reb Noson always tries to bring as examples, Baruch Hashem, I put on talit and tefillin. He always mentions, Reb Noson, like the first mitzvah that you do in the morning, talit and tefillin, doing that b'simcha, Hashem, thank you Hashem that I put on. Of all the lists, Shabbat, Yom Tov, Reb Noson gives like a list of good points. The first points that Reb Noson normally mentions is talit and tefillin. Because that's when the Yitzhara attacks the most, that you're not appreciative. We go to shul, put on tefillin every day, and you're heavy, you're negative, you don't even know what you're doing. You feel like so heavy and wasted from overeating last night, and you're negative because of it. Come on. You lose that. You're putting on tefillin. What is tefillin? It's the keter. Tefillin is the keter. Krita de Malka. It's called the keter. You're putting on the keter right in the morning. In the morning. Talit and the tefillin. They say, I think in the Kabbalah, that the talit and tefillin is keneged me'ashev and mesader. Right? Me'ashev is putting on the talit, and mesader is the tefillin. And also in the tefillin itself, the tefillin shayad is me'ashev. That's where the Svardim sit down, when they put on the tefillin shayad. And the mesader is the tefillin sharosh. But the point is that you're going through attachment to the keter every day by putting on the tefillin. And you have so much to be happy about. Because you can't say, oh, I did the worst things last night, so therefore I'm punishable, I'm not allowed to put on tefillin today. No, we don't say that. A Jew, he may have done the worst thing yesterday, he's allowed to put on tefillin today. He's still a Jew. Right? He's a chayav tefillin. Because Hashem didn't want to put on tefillin, Hashem would have killed him by now. The fact that Hashem didn't kill him, and he's still alive, Hashem wants his tefillin. You can't say, well, I did the worst thing. How could I put on the crown of Hashem on my head after what I did? The answer is, Hashem wants you as you are and all your garbage to put on the tefillin. Yes, you as you are, you put on the tefillin, you forget what happened, you do what I have to do right now. Okay? I had recently a person who had doubts in the validity of her ketubah because she's the rabbi who wrote it wasn't so kosher. You know? It's like, I'm just saying that you people, what's doing a mitzvah, the mitzvah is done, period. Okay, you look at the validity of this. If it's done properly, like the text and everything, and it's written right, you have to start worrying now all these extra things. Oh, he's undeserving and this and that. People overdo it. On the negativity, they overdo it like crazy. If this happened, I'm chayav mita. I shouldn't be alive now. I once met a person, I feel very bad, a long time ago, maybe 25 years ago. A single guy who was renting a room with a family, a Jewish family. He was Jewish, and it was sad that he began to have an affair with the wife and even slept with her, and she got pregnant. And by miracle, she had a miscarriage, Baruch Hashem. And back then, when I heard this, for free coming and being closed in Mea Sharim, you know, in a holy place, and you don't hear about these things. When I was talking to him about it, I felt I was going to throw up. I was so like, and I was scared, like I said, to come. And I said, I can't even sit at the table with you. It was a wrong attitude. And the guy was sincere. He wanted to do tshuva. He confessed what he did was wrong. And he said, I said, say tikkun haklal, and he was saying he was bawling his eyes out. But the attitude was wrong. You know, you have to have compassion. When someone is coming back, even if they did the worst thing, Hashem allows anyone to come back, right? They say in the Gemara, that was the whole reason why Mr. J became Mr. J. Because his Rav, I forgot his name, Rabbi Yeshua ben Perachia, do you remember his name? I think it's Rabbi Yeshua ben Perachia, I didn't want to accept him. He came back to try to do tshuva, and he went like this. He went like this because he was trying to tell him I'm in the middle of saying Kriyat Shema, but Mr. J felt so bad that it went like this. He interpreted it as, there's no hope for me, and he became the Mr. J who became, leading until now, the whole Christianity that we have today, unfortunately. And the Gemara says it's because of just a tiny error. Rav Yeshua ben Perachia should have expressed it differently, but he expressed it because he was in the middle of like saying Kriyat Shema or something, so he went with his hands like as if to wait, but he interpreted Mr. J as there's no hope for him. Get out of here, you know you're not acceptable. So we have to be strong on being b'simcha. That is the key. The key, Reb Noson is saying here, Ta'azreini, help me Hashem, that I should be zochet to go up always from level to level, because that's the goal of the keter. That's the goal of the clear mind. That's the goal of the shefa, coming from the keter to come to a settled and clean and organized mind, is I should continue to go up, because that's what Hashem wants. Hashem sent you down into this world to reach a higher level. That's why He sent you down. Your neshama is on a certain level in heaven. You're sent back in a physical body to now, in your lifetime, to connect to a higher level. Okay? So I should always go up from level to level, step by step, step to step, through doing the holy mitzvot with simcha. He's reminding mitzvotecha kadoshim, the holy mitzvot b'simcha, until ad she'ezkeh shetirdof machshavti tamid להשיג אותך בקדושה ובטהרה וביישוב הדעת באמת ובאמונה שלמה. Until I merit that my mind, because it's always, I'll always be needing this, until I merit every time that my mind should be running always, not for the bad thoughts, but should be running to perceive you, Hashem, להשיג אותך, with holiness, with purity. Okay, he says here, בקדושה טהרה, יישוב הדעת באמת ובאמונה שלמה. Look at that. So until I reach to perceive you, Hashem, at each level, in holiness, in purity, and with a clear-headed and settled mind, emet and emunah shlema, with on the right track, a clear, true perspective, a true settled mind leading me to have a true perspective, and with complete emunah. So this, Reb Noson reminds us, is through simcha. We'll stop here. But we should be zochet to internalize this. You begin to see in life that this is so needed. This is so needed on a daily basis. This is the main area that a person needs to work on, is the simcha and the yeshivadat. Okay? So important, so needed. We should be zochet to say this prayer again and again and again, and also in our own words in Idbodedut, and begin to see changes in our mind. It's so true that when you learn Rabbi Nachman's Likutey Moharan and you say Reb Noson's prayers, you activate these ideas in your life and you internalize them. That's why it's so important to learn the teachings of tzaddikim, especially this caliber tzaddik Rabbi Nachman, this lesson 24, and then daven about it. Say Reb Noson's prayer, say it what it do. This is what gets things moving in life. You can say, I'm doing this for years, don't see a change. You're wrong. Because you're comparing, you can't see noticeable change from day to day. Do a 10-year jump or a 5-year jump, you will see that you have changed. You will see that you've developed, okay? I saw that once, Avram Greenbaum, he wrote that in one of his books. Amazing book, Under the Table and How to Get Up. He writes, change is noticeable in big stages. Take a 10-year change, a gap, notice a change. Don't do like day to day. You can't notice day to day because change is slow. That's how Judaism is. It's like another chip on the wall, another chip on the brick until you make a hole. It takes time, okay? So day to day is not noticeable. Year to year also is a bit difficult, but do 5 years, 10 years, and you can notice a change. You're not the same person, you advanced. And it's thanks to your davening. Because if you didn't do the davening and the learning, you wouldn't be where you are today. You'd be on a lesser level. We should be zocheh to be strong and not to give up. Thank you for joining. Bezat Hashem. It was an amazing class. Thank you.